All right, Cooper, let's start off with the big question. Ultimately, why was Arizona State the right place for you?
I feel like the culture there, just like everybody around the program, the coaches, the fans, everybody around the program is just really energetic, and it just felt like home from the get go.
So during your recruitment process and having some time in Tempe, meeting these people face to face, seeing the facilities up close, what were some of the things that made the biggest impression to you during those times when you got to actually be in the midst of Sun Devil country?
Probably like I said, like the coaches and stuff, like Coach Dillingham and Coach Ward. Coach Dillingham's got a plan. He's got a plan for the next couple of years, and I want to be a part of what ASU has to like for that plan. I want to be a part of it. So that's why I ultimately chose ASU.
Speaking of Coach Dillingham, obviously still one of the younger coaches in the entire country, a guy full of energy, wants his players to have a lot of fun while also working really hard. From a player's perspective, what's it like having a coach, on the younger side that also has that mix of having fun, but also putting in that hard work?
That's a big thing that I like about him so much. I feel like I can relate to him. Definitely because of the age factor, definitely because he's younger, but also because of how energetic he is. Not to say that other coaches are not energetic, but some of these older guys aren't as energetic as Coach Dillingham is, and I really appreciate that, and I really like how he is really involved in everything that we do up there.
Of course, your future position coach here in Tempe, a guy who has a pretty good resume in the sport, and Hines Ward with 1,000 catches in the league, Super Bowl MVP on his mantle, couple of Super Bowl rings. What really jumps out to you about Hines Ward, and what excites you most about learning from him over the next few years?
I mean, the name kind of speaks for itself, like you just said. I mean, I'm really excited to learn from a guy like him who's been through it himself, and I really think that like he can teach me more than other coaches because he's been through it already, and he's done it at the highest level, and he's competed at the highest level and started at the highest level. You can't beat him.
And he has a saying, "No block, no rock." Of course, receivers like to put up big numbers, and which you have certainly done. How do you feel that putting in that kind of dirty work, the stuff that doesn't show up in the box score, is how much of that is a part of your game?
That's a big part of my game. For as big as I am, it's kind of difficult to get down with these little corners sometimes, but it's definitely a game, part of my game that I really harp on and I really enjoy. Honestly, like when I get to go out there and I get a little corner in front of me, I get happy when I have to block them. So I'm really excited that he goes into that a lot because it is an important factor of the game. If we got the running back going in power and he breaks one and we're not blocking, he's getting tackled by the corner. You know what I mean? So receivers blocking is definitely a something that goes unnoticed sometimes, but it's a very big part of the game.
Of course, you were a commit during the season last year, and of course, ultimately seeing your future team go on the run that they did, winning the conference title, going to the Beach Bowl like that. What was it like? Just kind of how did that, after you made your decision, seeing that continued success, kind of almost like validate your decision in a way.
Yeah, that was super cool. I mean, I already knew that they were going to do it. I knew from the get go. I chose the right school. I chose the right team. These guys are family, and they treat each other like family. And they when you have a bond like that, it's really hard to get beat.
Of course, you're the latest in a long line that's now been flowing really well for the Texas-to-Tempe Pipeline. What's it mean to be going to a destination that obviously places so much emphasis and priority on your home state, but also knowing that there's going to be a whole lot of Texans on that roster with you?
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, I have a lot of guys like Jake Fetty, the QB. He's also from Texas. We stay in contact a lot. Carday, the running back, he's from Atascocita. He's close to me. It's super cool to see that all these guys that are in the state that I live in are going up there, and we're all going to work together.
What makes guys from Texas different? Obviously, the high school football there is just, it's different than anywhere else. A guy that's played his ball in Texas, what do you think, sets a Texan apart?
I mean, like you said, it's the best Texas high school football is number one out here, man. I like the high school football out here is different. The stadiums are bigger, the fans are louder, the games are bigger. Everything is better in Texas. That's why it's just a big deal out here. Everybody, the whole town, like my town's a little town, but everybody pulls up to the games. So it's different out here.
So, for any ASU fans that might not have caught your film or seen you in action, give our viewers and listeners a scouting report on the skill set you bring to an offense.
I'm a big guy. I'm a one-on-one target. I can go up and get that thing, and don't skip out on the blocking because I'll sit your ass on the ground.
During the process and getting to know this Sun Devil offense, and with obviously Kenny Dillingham has had great success. Marcus Arroyo is one of the best OCs in the country. What really jumps out to you about the offensive scheme that the Sun Devils like to run?
It's pro-like. It's very advanced. I'm really excited to get up there and learn about it because Coach Ward says, like, I mean, that's step one. That's the building block. You learn that, you keep going from there. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited to go up there and learn something from, like you said, Arroyo, one of the best OCs in the country. Yeah, I'm really excited to go up there.
You mentioned his name earlier, and Jake Fetty. What's it like, just knowing that you have one of the best quarterbacks in the country, let alone a fellow Texan there, but coming in as a wide receiver quarterback combo in this 2026 class that could be the next foundation after the Sam Levitt era.
Yes, sir. It's almost a sense of relief. You know what I mean? Like in high school right now, the quarterback situation's always been iffy. But now that I know that I'm gonna go to college with a guy that is a very great quarterback, I've watched his film. He's a great quarterback. I'm really excited to go up there and start working with all those guys, especially him.
And you're part of this 2026 class that is, tops in the Big 12, currently one of the best in the country through the recruiting service rankings. How do you feel like kind of the overall momentum is with this 2026 class of Sun Devils? And, how are you guys can maybe work and maybe get some other guys to join you and hop on board?
Yeah, we're staying strong every day. We're recruiting guys to just build our class. Already a great class, but there's always room for improvement. So yeah, we're keeping the gas pedal on.
And then looking ahead to this upcoming fall, what are some of the goals that you've set for yourself to, for your final season of high school ball, and maybe some of the things you want to, accomplish during the course of that final season to get you ready for that jump up to major college football?
Yeah. Well, some of my goals, I want to have over 1,000 yards receiving. I also want to make one of the all-state teams in Texas, and I want to receive for over 20 touchdowns this season.
And then ultimately, a couple falls from now, when you're running out of Tillman Tunnel, sold out Mountain America Stadium, past the Pat Tillman statue in that maroon and gold, what's that going to mean to you? Like, what excites you most about the prospect of playing for the Sun Devils?
It's a dream to reality. I mean, I've been dreaming like this since I was just a little baby. So to get the opportunity that Coach Dillingham and Coach Ward and Coach Arroyo and all these guys that have given me is just truly a blessing, and I am gonna take nothing for granted, and I'm just gonna put my head down and work.